Hey everyone, so this is Barry, Music Tech Info, and I've been into retro computers recently, particularly ones that I used to own, and my dad went into the loft and he found my old Archimedes computer, which is really amazing. It's quite a rare computer. It's the A3010, and it's actually in really good nick. I think because there wasn't that much software, back in the day, Amiga just kind of took over and this came a bit late in the game. It basically meant that it wasn't used all that much. And I mean, I love it. The design of it and everything is brilliant. It's from the original BBC company, British Broadcasting Company, which provides our television channels, or some of them, or they did back in the day anyway. And so this is the A3010. Now, the reason why I wanted this, I can't remember exactly how old I was, but in 1992 I was 12. I was probably about 14 or something. So in secondary school, they had the A3020, and basically it was very similar, but it had red keys here instead of green. And I was just absolutely blown away by what this computer could do. The operating system was so ahead of its time. I think Windows 3.1 may have been just released. So this, for me, was a lot more fun, a lot more interesting, a lot more engaging. And you didn't need a massive computer. You didn't need a huge desktop. This was kind of an all-in-one computer. So since then, obviously, I forgot it was in the loft, and it's just been great to actually see if it works. So I've had to do a couple of things. I haven't opened it up. That's the first thing. But I have tested it, and it does work, which is brilliant. What I use is a VGA cable. If I try and show behind here, I've got a mouse adapter to USB from eBay that's actually brilliant because it works. And I've obviously got all of the other ports here which I haven't really used. And just to test it, I managed to get a floppy disk from a demo disk just to see if it works. Now, interestingly, I had to do a bit of research in terms of how this works, because when you power it up on, say, a work monitor or whatever, VGA monitor, I found that it wasn't showing anything. So I was like, oh, it's broken. When I checked the internet, I then realized that actually it's new technology. So if you hold the delete key down while you power on, then it'll actually show the screen. So if I try and keep hold of the delete key, I'm just going to power it on at the back, and then you can hopefully see the boot sequence. So I'm just going to try and... This isn't easy because I'm trying a new thing. Okay. Give it a second. And there we go. So basically, this is Risc OS, and it's got me back into the operating system, which is not what I was expecting, to be fair. Let me just see if I can rest this a bit better for you, just so that you can see the screen. There we go. That's not too bad. Okay, so the mouse, I mean, for a start, I was wondering why it wasn't working, and then eventually it worked. Bear with me. There we go. So I've got the mouse working here. It's super quick, actually. Now, I haven't got a hard drive fitted or anything like that. But you do need to have a mouse that has a middle button. Now, I can use the good old scroll wheel and actually click on the scroll wheel and it still works. It's a bit temperamental, but it works. But just to see a different operating system, I think, is just really cool. Or one that I used to use. So if I put in the floppy disk drive and I just click on the disk drive on the bottom left, you'll hear it's loading it. I love the waiting timer. Love that. And this desktop is actually called the pin board, interestingly. Oh, miss that old floppy disk drive sound. It's so cool. So this was back in 1994. This was a subscription disc. I actually got this from eBay for about £5 just to kind of test it out, really. So it's nice that it reads, you know, all of the lights work, all of the keys work, which is brilliant. I think there's a bad sector on the actual floppy disk drive because I can't get Starfighter to work. It starts initially and then, yeah, it kind of packs up. So it's just nice to see, you know, that this is working. You've got like, this is the window here. And if you click that, it kind of goes in the background. This closes it, as you can imagine. You've got the scroll wheel up and down here. You've got root to take you back. Now, interestingly, you've got Arc FS2. I don't actually know what that means, but I think it's like a password thing that you can enable on the floppy disk drive. I don't want to do that, so I've just kind of left it alone. This button up here is quite cool. Oh, well, it is when it does the right thing. There we go. This obviously enlarges the window. And, you know, you're able to move stuff around, which is really cool, and load stuff by double clicking. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So if I have a look at the apps folder, now the operating system is on the ROM, and without this computer or series of computers, technology wouldn't have advanced so much to have everything in one processor. And this is one of the first units or processors that actually had that capability. It's a shame that Windows took over, really, from my point of view. I mean, I like this operating system. And there is a new one on the Raspberry Pi, Risc OS, which I've literally downloaded and I'm going to try and hopefully put out on another video. Now, I never really created music on this. I am a musician myself, known as Cyber Monday, synth pop, synthwave material. Lots of material to check out. Now, I never actually got a cover disc that had tracker software on it or a music package. However, they do exist. I think I was just a bit unfortunate. And then I kind of moved to the Amiga and then carried on from there, really. And then created music on the Amiga. But it would have been nice to have experienced that on the Archimedes. You've got an alarm software here. Now, when you click on it, it loads in the bottom taskbar. And then you click on it to actually load it, which is a bit odd. So yeah, you can navigate and set an alarm if you want to. This is the original calculator. Again, it closes at the bottom. 9 times 9 equals 81. You've got characters very similar to Windows 3.1 here. You can configure the bottom of the screen. You can configure all of this stuff. So like sound, for example, you can hear the beep. That's the normal one that I've done. You can make it loud. Out. Oh my God, they're really, really bad, aren't they? Quite abrasive, really. That's my favourite. So, you know, you can do auto start and all sorts of things on here. The draw, I thought, well, why have you got a draw and why have you got a paint? So drawing really is no colour. It's basically, you know, just kind of just mucking about, really. Have you got a select button? Oh, no, that's not a select button. There we go. I mean, it's quite simplistic in its nature. There we go. Discard. Now, what you can do is you can save stuff to the RAM, which is quite interesting. I haven't got that enabled on here at the moment. When you want to quit a program, you use the middle button, and then you can just click on quit, just to free up some space. And talking about space, if I go onto here, the Acorn icon, back in the day, you were really limited by how much memory you had allocated. So what you were able to do, anything in red, you were able to amend. So if there was a particular game you wanted to load and you needed to free up some more space, then that's something that you could do on here, which I thought was pretty cool. Edit is just a basic text editor. Whoops, there you go. And I think this was full screen. Yeah, there you go. So the top right button is the full screen. It's just great to see this. And actually, it looks really good. I don't know how it's looking on camera, by the way, but I'm really impressed with how it's looking. Now help was pretty cool because anything you hovered over, you got like a little help, which I thought was quite nice. And if I go back to my apps, because I just accidentally closed it, you've also got paint. Now I do want to try and get some more demo discs and see what else I can create from here. You know, you've got sprite colors, so I can do a bit of spray painting. I can fill with a certain color, yellow. I can put a blue box in. I can type in red, I think. Is it that one? Oh yeah, put it at the bottom. So you put hello in. And then what? Do you drag it? Do you? I mean, yeah, the functionality is pretty cool, to be fair. People are going to be yelling at me because I can't remember how to do that. But yeah, I just think it's amazing, you know. How cool to actually have this again. Not a bad operating system, to be fair. Discard. And again, it just builds up with a load of apps and stuff. So you can quit them. Now, what I did like was you can kind of go to info on any app at the bottom, and then you can see who made it, how old it is, what version number it is. So like if I do that on the Acorn icon and go to info, you can see this is Risc OS 3, Acorn Computers Limited in 1992, and it's version 3.11. Oh, how interesting, the same version as Windows 3.11 that I used to use as well. So yeah, so you've also got colors where you can change the palette of things. Now, interestingly, before I go into some of the floppy disk stuff, I found some shortcuts. So you can go in kind of into, I don't know what you call it actually, is it the console? Yeah, if I press F12, it opens up this little thing down the bottom. And I found some little things. So you've got like Control T, or do this really odd kind of thing. I don't even know if that's like an error screen or what. I find that really interesting. And there's also, to make the sound, you can press Control G or 7. And Control Break is reset. So let's do that. So I'm just going to soft reset the computer. I mean, I cannot tell you how ahead of its time it was in 1992. The computer, the main computer before this was the BBC microcomputer. I think Model B, I used to have that as well, but it was so text-based. There was no like operating system like this one. Right, so if I click the floppy disk again, and there's nothing too exciting on this floppy disk, but I just want to give you an idea of what's on here. I like the personal touch of these disks. Like if I click on viruses, for example, just basically says that it's a virus protection scheme. It's guaranteed free of all of the viruses known to killer. I thought that was interesting. You've got scrap, which I don't know what these system drives actually do. You've got data. So these are cheats that you can have from like James Pond 2, Asylum, Speedball 2, Warlocks, Diggers, Sensible Soccer. You've got the desktop publishing with an illustrative fancy border. So let's see how advanced this is. So just double click and it should load up. I think it's right. It takes so long on floppy disk. There we go, look at that. So that is a fancy border that you can print off, and all of your friends will be so impressed with the flowers and the arrangement. Was that really worth it? And of course, these were double density discs. These were like, what, 720 was it? Not even 1.44 megabytes. It was like half of that. So, yeah, impressive. Public domain, ProTech, help. Interesting that you had a load of help files to kind of guide you on what to do and what it was. You got copyright notice, that's all the boring stuff. Can you see the personal touch that public domain had? And I like that. I do, I really like that. I'm not going to read this all. Personal note for me, why aren't I revising for my A-levels? Star Trek is on. I get a lot of nostalgia from this kind of stuff. I want to get back into public domain again and freeware and retro freeware. And it's really cool. I don't know what this stuff does, by the way. I haven't got a clue. Drag a data file to here. Well, I don't have a data file. So I don't understand what that is. Quit. Oh, it's not going to get rid of that because for some reason that's kind of the core thing, isn't it? Oh, well, I'll move it out of the way. ProTech, we've got review index. So the 32-bit reviews from the last 7 years, right? But what I found odd was these aren't reviews at all. This is just telling you about the software that's available in each of the category. So you've got art and design here. And some of this stuff's really expensive. ArcScan is £2,133. Is it? Yeah, it is pounds. I wanted to make sure it wasn't dollars, but it was a UK machine. Some of the stuff's quite shocking, really. But then this is what it was then. You had to be quite rich to... you had to be rich for this. ProCAD is £495 for the software. I just thought this was super interesting, You've even got phone numbers on here. Oh my gosh, I've just realised. Wow, I doubt any of those will work now. Business. Now, I bet there's some expensive stuff in the business section. Maximise. Oh yeah, there we go. Look, £625 for the 386 PC, 4 megabyte. Is that RAM? I'm presuming that's RAM or a hard drive. Accounts Manager package, $299. Wow, $595 for a PC emulator for a 486. Only 4 megabytes you get for that. Of course, memory was at such a premium back then. Oh, here we are, buyer's guide. This might be interesting. Oh, this is if you want to... Oh, number of entries. Oh, okay. So this is a number of entries of product type in each of the page issue of the magazine. So have I got that right then? Oh no, it is the price on the others. Yeah, I wasn't going crazy. C plus control, I don't know what that is. Maximise. Just trying to get my way around the system. Okay, Archimedes serial link. Colour screen, £95. Fax pack, £351. Oh, Summer Graphics Bitpad 2, $405. They were really trying to compete with Microsoft back in the day. Education. Education, French packages, desktop folio, I seem to remember that, £100. First logo, £24. Granny's Garden. Lexicon, Russian dictionary, mathematics. As I say, this was used in my school and it was like a nationwide project. Nationwide project, I should say. Yeah, they literally got rid of all of the BBC Micro 2s and in came these. This is all of the hardware stuff, like how much a drive is, who sells them. The Daily Telegraph from 1991 to 1993. Goodness me. So yeah, these are the contact numbers back in the day of who you could call. That's so cool. I'm going to skip a bit because it's just going to bore everybody. Sound and music is an interesting one because, as I say, I am a musician. So just to see what kind of software packages were out there. The sampler board is £587, right? They had voice generators on here for like £60. Amadeus, Audio Work, CD Sampler, Compose World, Desktop Tracker. See, I was into trackers back in the day, £69. Keyboard Trainer, Masterclass MIDI, Software Interface, Rhapsody, Rhythm Box, Rhythm Maker. Sound Blaster they had. speech system, Symphony Tracker, Voxbox. Interesting. So let's move away from that. We've got Tech Forum as well. Really clever stuff, but again, I just don't know what this stuff is. Patch a dragger sprite on the fly. I mean, I don't know. There was something about faulty instructions or something. It's kind of over my head. And Starfighter. I can show you the opening screen if I've got enough memory left. Obviously, it's a game, so it takes a long time to load. It's got its own soundboard inside, its own speaker. And that's pretty much all it does. If I press return, it's just going to take me straight back. And then that's it. Then it doesn't load or anything. S for start. Doesn't work. Space. F1. Nothing. What if I click on the mouse? I haven't clicked on the mouse before. Because I think you... No, it's not, no, I think there's definitely an issue with the floppy drive. Not the drive, the floppy disk, rather. Okay, so if I press return, it just takes me straight back. There you have it. That's pretty much it, to be fair. I love it. I'm so impressed. It's quite a heavy beast. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it yet or try and sell it. But so yeah, I thought you'd be interested in that video for people that are interested in Acorn computing. The floppy disk, by the way, is this, which is the Mega Disk Starfighter 3000 plus reviews, Tech Forum, PD protection software. And as I say, you haven't got two holes at the top, which is why it's double density. And there's cheats on there. So yeah, nice bit of retro stuff. And I will shut it down now. So I go down to here and I can go shut down. Oh, I think because this is active, it's not letting me. Oh well, there you go. You get the idea. If I go control break, there we go. And then I should be able to shut it down from there. Amazing. Shut down. The computer is now ready to be switched off. There you go. Hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give it a like. And I'll speak to you on the next one. Take care. Bye.